Alright, hopefully this time. Hopefully. By the way, welcome. This is Homewars. If you don't know what Homewars is, it's, I would say, a niche game. Not a lot of people have played it, but bigger YouTubers, I guess big YouTubers in general, have played it. Very interesting. You should definitely go watch their content if you want better content. Otherwise, we're going to play it generally basic, except bugs per swarm, we're going to have very high. We're going to have a turn every 2 days. This will speed up how fast the enemy advances in their research or their of them getting stronger troops. And then we're gonna have 1 day, 1 night. Reason for this is daytime. There's no benefits. Everything is as the troops say. So if they have a vision range of say 230 meters, they have vision range of 230 meters. But during night, that is cut in half. That's now 115 meters. Right there. And bugs and stuff, the insects do more damage. So not only are they going to advance faster, they're going to have a lot more bugs per swarm. They're also going to do a lot of damage half the time. Or a lot more damage half the time. So we're going to start this. This is going to be entirely uncut. Excuse me. Uncut. And just recorded and uploaded. It'll probably be about an hour long when we set a timer, alarm, whatever. Mostly because if I edit it, I feel like then I have to do that for everything, and then if it doesn't get anywhere, I take a look at it and see, oh well, I spent say an hour recording this, another hour or two editing it, and it's gotten 12 views. Okay, cool. And like 2 minutes watch time. To me, that doesn't seem fun. Because I feel like if you're going to watch this, you're either interested in me to some extent or interested in the game. I want to see how it is. Now, let me tell you something. Loading times are on my end, not the game's end. Right? These loading times are because I'm using crossover, because this isn't a native Mac game. So the load times are longer due to that, or it could just be due to me using a Mac. Either way, the game runs perfectly fine. Otherwise, just loading screens is the main issue. But if you're using Windows computer, it will be perfectly fine. You can read this on your own. It's basically saying bugs have entered our house, defended, etc., etc. This is, if you're new to it, you see your boss. Now, hey, etc., etc. So going for a quick overlook here, this is where you have to get to. Oops. This is where you have to get to. They'll be coming out here, expanding throughout the house in their own way, and we're going to be doing the same, but through here, from the kids' bedroom. Actually, taking a look at this, this is a fairly nice house. Taking a look at it, but why is that there? Because the main doorway is there. You go in, enter into the living room, then the dining room, and the kitchen's the farthest way off. Imagine taking groceries in here. Go all the way throughout the house. Look, no. That's honestly not a bad house at all. Now, done doing that, these flags, once captured, they'll give us raw resources, like chemical materials or materials. If they get it, then they get fresh food, rotten food, and high protein food. And right here, we can see how much of each they have. We can see how much, I think this is fresh food. Right here. If not, maybe rotten food. High protein, I think, is for them giving this. I'm not fully sure, if I'm going to be honest. But we can see how much food they're using of whatever kind that they have, and how much they need for another standard swarm. Standard swarms will generally be made up of groups of whatever is in here. So level 1, they'll have basic mosquitoes and then basic ants. For ant swarms, it'll be just whatever the highest tier of ant is. So say they're level 5, when they get an ant swarm, instead of it being this ant, basic ant, it'll be this ant. Right, but for the standard swarm at level 5, it'll be whatever that is. That ant and a wasp. So going off that, we're going to continue here. Headquarters, manage headquarters. I'm going to play this as I generally would, except we're going to play more do plastic. So we're going to do that. There's also a market value. Now, I'm going to press Command to sell single ones. I'm going to press Control to sell 10 at a time. So there's Control. I have controls, etc., etc. Now I'm going to click Options. I'm going to Buy. And you want to make sure you can use all this deal value. As it says right here, when you close the deal value, you'll lose the deal value. So try to use the most of it before that moment. I don't know why I'm selling like that. So we're going to close the deal there, and I'll be 344 plastic. We're going to use that to buy troops. Issue is, we have light riflemen, right? Which, for our current thing, we can get 8 of them. We're just going to get 8 of them to have one on every single flag there is. Which should leave us at about 100, I think, 104. I hope that's enough. But to get more troops, we're going to use our XP up here, which get 30 per turn, because generally you won't get any XP per turn, but that's only because if we go down to intelligence, they're growing faster because we're getting a turn every 2 days. We get XP to offset that imbalance. But I'll always recommend immediately getting the Sapper. They're unparalleled in damage, especially early on. And then we'll get a Rifleman, because that's like a 1.2 fire rate, that's like a 0.5 fire rate. So definitely worth it. And with that going, we're going to end the day off there. And it's nighttime. So we're gonna move everybody here. And you can see that we're getting rough plastics, raw materials, things like that. And you'll also see that there's 3 slices of pie, I suppose. That determines what slice of pie you're on, determines on what the fight is going to look like. Like, if the ants were to move right here, right now, we would have full slices, we would have to attack them. In that case, it would be us attacking their forward operating base. Basically, for us to win, we have to destroy their base inside the fight. But say they already have a slice and we go to attack, so then we're fighting over this one, or defending this one rather. Then just capture the flag. Now, if we don't have any slices, or we have 1 slice and we're defending it, then we have to defend our base. But I think we'll be able to see that fairly well here. What we're going to do is we're going to get a power station, get a metal factory, apparently not going to get a plastic factory. Nope. Okay. Probably need more for an actual metal. 1 more turn. Okay. Because it's going to be a lot harder, I have tried to record this 1 other time, and I severely underestimated how much plastic I needed. So that was always fun. I need 1 more. Okay, there we go. Do I? 1, 2. Where did I miscount? Oh, 1's supposed to be back here. 2 of these are supposed to go that way. I sent 1 extra there. That's fine. But we're gonna go heavy into the economy early on. We might give up a little bit, but that's quite alright. Close that. End day. You can hear him moving around here.
Get into position, understood. Copy that.
Oh well. I'll
Affirmative.
send 1 back over there. Granted, this doesn't matter because we're always gonna have supply troops there. Now, take a look at here. They have 128 groups of bugs. Right, we have a singular unit compared to their 128 groups of them. That's a very important factor. But you'll see, just after 2 turns, they're basically they're a good chunk of the way there. They're a good chunk of the way to the next level. But if we click attack, we can see that they have 75 groups of ants and 52 groups of mosquitoes. If we click on them, you can see all the useful information and some interesting information here. I'm going to be ignoring this because every single time I try to read it, it just messes me up somehow. But either way, we'll see that they have 120 health, 26 damage, attack rate of 7. They're faster than the ants, even though the speed is still medium. Members per group is 14. So 14 times 52, that's how many mosquitoes there. Same thing like this, 200 health for the ants, 13 damage, attack rate 3. So a lot damage per attack compared to the mosquito, and also a lot slower attack. So mosquitoes are the worst for us currently. But members per group for 20. So it'd be 20 times 76. So we're simply not going to do anything there, or anything there. Come to your headquarters, manage headquarters. Get more plastic. And then we'll try to make an army of some sorts. Which we'll do a sapper and rifleman. I normally do a sapper, supply vehicle, and oh, we might be able to actually do a supply vehicle here. Huh, cool. There we go. That's a general army we'll be using for a little bit. We're going to do that. They're going to split up to these two. We're going to let this one fall. Or it's going to be here to defend, retreat, close. Now they do get bonuses for that. Here, we'll see if they're here to defend. We're not going to be able to fight this. We're going to retreat. We get fresh food, rotten fruit, and high protein. But that's perfectly alright. Can't move that. Oh, fun. Going to go. We're losing 2 per turn. Perfectly fine with that. I think we save up on stuff there. Recruit new army. Because now we're definitely going to need a good amount of troops here. There we go. Again, we can attack. We're not going to fight because it's one rifleman. I'm going to lose, let me tell you. I have tried, I have failed. But there's park over here, we're going to retreat. 30. Now, every single time I've mentioned this, but that's if you've done nothing. Like, if we were to just be stagnant the whole time without... I think it's stagnant, as in we haven't entered any defensive fights or offensive fights, that they lose morale and they just die, they disappear. But I do believe if we defend and actually go into a fight here, that counter will reset back to 2 turns. But I don't know, it's never been an issue for me. Oh, sorry, starting. Which is slightly an issue, because I'm not sure if you caught a glimpse of it, but on the building screen, there's a satellite or like launch pad or whatever. Basically, I think it's like 2,000 plastic to launch a satellite, and you'll have I think complete view, or at least view over a certain point, like 10 turns or something like that. It's like, why do that when I can just have a light rifleman there constantly and just don't ever attack him, right? But I don't know. I feel like that is one minor flaw in it, but that's just to me. But back to what I was saying. If I do edit this and all that, or if I were to anyways, then I would hold myself to a standard, and that means when I think of making a video, it's going to be like, okay, I'm going to need to set aside at least probably an hour for recording, unless if it all goes well, like no interruptions, so whatever. And then I need to set time for editing, and then wait for it to upload. It's like, oh my gosh, that's like 3 hours work, which, you know, if that was the only thing I'm doing, fine. And can it be done? Most definitely, most definitely. If I wanted to dive into this, I perfectly can, or I perfectly could, rather. But I'm simply not that. People have done it. People much greater than I have dove into it, and it's worked out well for them. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm not saying it doesn't. But yeah, I find myself not to be an interesting person. I don't play not interesting games, but not popular games, rather. But we can highlight by left-clicking and dragging. We can set them to the control groups down here by, nope, not even by clicking. By control and then whatever number I want. So now I'm over here. Oh, I need all these guys. There you go. But to get them to go places and to set up a line of attack, I'm right-clicking right now and dragging. Let's pause right now, it's not going to do anything. But then for the sapper, you'll see how he's kind of unparalleled. We're going to be using barbed wire to kill all the ants we can. Right, if we click more info, we'll see that every single... I'm not sure what its attack rate is, but whenever it does attack, it does 10 damage. right, to an ant that has to 100 health. Not a lot, but you can stack them on top. Like, I can place 50 of them right here without moving my cursor, and it'll be like lava to the ants. But what we're going to do is, because the ants are an issue, they aren't the biggest issue. That is the air units, because they're faster, they do a lot more damage, and I think, at least for their level 2 mosquitoes, when they do damage, they get health back. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get out of there, making sure I can still access him through that. We're going to open the stats page, and we can do this by X. We can see the range of everything. So we have to be inside this range to get points. We have to be inside this range to supply. If we had our supply vehicle down, we would have to be within the range of the supply vehicle. Blue circle to get our units supplied and healed. If we click up here, we can see ammo. Small caliber, you're going to use a lot. Spare parts are for repairing your troops. Healing them, I suppose. Battle points you get naturally. That's how we bought these. How you place our troops. So, speed of time. If you're going to need an objective thing, here it is. Victory, defeat. I do have the time set really high because I feel like if I place troops down, they should, be able to fight. Or it would come down to I had every right in like wiping out the enemy side, but we ran out of time. It's like, really? But, meh. Hold on, that's the vision range. So actually what we can do is I'm going to press 2. We're going to change it to heavy ammo. I lied. Guess we're going to keep standard. Maybe, maybe not. I guess, yeah, I guess we have to keep standard. Guys? Okay. So let's say heavy because it does more damage, but the range goes down to 80. But they're not using the full extent of this range because their vision range is so short. Oh, wait, back to what I was saying. I'll get out of there so I don't accidentally do anything. That just literally more time and I would have killed him. I wouldn't have lost due to getting maxed out on points. It literally just would have lost on time, and I feel like that's, I don't know. I feel like if I am going to lose, I should lose through points up here or through losing everybody. But that's just how I think of it. Actually, if I can. Now we can't place them too close here. Hopefully there's not a sound from by. Okay, there you go. We now have those troops protected. Yeah, so if you're too close to an enemy, you can't build. Perfectly fine. What else was there? I feel like there's something else. Oh, yeah, if you press tab, at least on Mac, you can get a top-down view if you'd rather this. You can zoom in, and also X does more than just show the range of everything. It shows the health, it shows hitboxes, etc, etc, etc. You good up there, bunny? I just heard you, like, I just heard your stomach. I don't know, it ain't mine. You good over there? I don't know. Guess he ate some bad grass, dude. Anyway, I personally like the view. I like this one. So, we're going back over there. So far, seemed to be pretty good. I'm surprised we haven't had a loss yet. But this is after learning that the ants aren't the issue. Like, not nearly as much as I think they generally are. It's all the air units. Because generally what I would do is like, oh, ants, there's so many of them. So I'll place a bunch of these around to kill them. And then I'd have like little to none of these. And it's like, well, how are my troops dying? The ants are touching them. Anyway, there's mosquitoes. Also, furthermore, you might see that I placed them in front of them. Or placed these in front of them. That's because even when they go down at an angle, they'll still generally go through it. He's getting damaged right now. He's dead. Now granted, yeah. When they go down at an angle, I want them to hit it through here instead of being here, right? Because the longer they're going through here, especially at a downward slope, the longer they're going to be in this hit radius, instead of just basically going straight down, and then being able to damage my troops while other things going on. You know what I'm going to do? Try to get some barbed wire right over here. Any barbed wire? I got some, okay. There you go. Got one, that's fine. Now we do have an option. We're going to speed that up. I'm going to have 2 here. Once this gets down a little bit, maybe to 150s, I'm going to click this button, which basically means go out and hunt. Hunt the whiskey wabbits. But they are actually hitting our units now. Yep.
Roger that. Get into position.
Gonna move them over here. Hopefully try to get them to come more down this way and at least hit the edge of there. If we don't win, this perfectly fine. Again, we're mostly wanting to do damage here. And oop. As long as we have this happening. I know the clicking might be annoying, but I'm really trying to get it like... There we go. I feel like this time now I don't think we're going to win. Yeah, no, we can't. Hold on, maybe if we pause... This is going to be something at least. Like that, we're going to do vehicles. We're going to slow down how fast they're getting points if we can. They're probably going to die though. That's perfectly fine. Yep, we lost. Perfectly fine with that. I would rather lose like this because we lost due to the objective of the fight. Right, and I feel like if the time is too long, especially if what's causing you to lose isn't the fact that you've lost the objective of the match and this time getting points, right? But rather due to time, I feel like that's redundant. Especially if... Pardon me. Oof. Especially because just having that one, we would have lost. I feel like the time was there for... If you have all of them as fast as you can, you'll win by the time runs out. Otherwise, not really. But it's not to say it's a draw when time runs out. Say they have 200 points, I have 150. In that case, it goes on, well, who has the highest points? Right? Oh, 200 is greater than 150. So, the ants win. So I feel like, then why have a limiting factor? But then, I suppose, what would be the surefire way to end it? I don't know. But that's just me. I'm surprised we only lost 2 riflemen. But you'll see here that due to the damage that we did to the ants and the mosquitoes, 67,000, basically 68,000 if you round up, damage from one sapper compared to 34,000 damage from the rifleman. And 70 from the rifleman. But now we can turn around and we can go, well, you know what, round 2, we can attack. Because there's always 2 fights in this stage. Because we lost one, we can now go back and attack. And say, well, no. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to sit them all down. We're going to tell them to immediately hunt. Which will cause us to lose a handful. But that's perfectly alright to some extent. Or, I have an idea. But I'm trying to use these loading screens to not talk about the game, but talk about mind the things. But yeah, not holding myself to the standards of previous videos, unless it's like an informative video, like I had a lot of videos on Trove before duplicating got into it and ruined it. Trove was an amazing game. It really was, and it is. You can still play it, you can still go through it perfectly fine. There's no issue with going through it now. But the market system and the economy wrecked. It's not worth it if you're going for it. If you're going to play as an MMO, it's perfectly fun, dude. If Trove is still up when I have kids, we're hopping down. We're playing that when they're old enough, right? 1,000,000%. That's a fun, it's an MMO, so it's obviously going to be fun. Sorry, MMORPG. There's so many characters, there's so many things to do, and it's in a style I like. Ooh, oh, because they own this flag, basically, so they get that one. Okay, never mind. But we're going to do that. We're going to do this. But if it was like, oh, how to get bottles or whatever, that was one of my videos that I have saved. It's just, I guess, taken down rather, but I don't know. We're going to do X. Going to do that. Do that.
Order acknowledged. Order acknowledged. Understood. Order acknowledged.
I'm gonna do stats, see how much they have. I want one person to go there.
Engaging enemy. Understood. Order received.
Run!
Understood. Get into position. Roger that. Roger that. Affirmative. Order received. Move out. Move out. Going in. Copy
Uh-oh,
that.
he died.
Get into position. Order acknowledged.
Sorry, this one needs to live.
Understood. Understood. Roger that. I'm hit. Order received.
Dang.
Affirmative.
Yeah, I know we were gonna lose a lot of mine. I didn't realize it's gonna be that
Get
much.
into position. Roger that. Order acknowledged.
Make him a little safety area.
Order received.
Oh, okay. Everyone's dead. Nice. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go around. You go up there, buddy.
Attack formation. Roger that. Move out.
But either way, if it's something like that, like a how-to or whatever, yes, obviously it'll be edited because no one's gonna watch. You know what? I guess rather, know how many times I've tried to look something up. Say, I think it's mostly for like Rise of Kingdoms or Ark, whatever. It's like, oh, how to X, Y, and Z, and it's a 40-minute video of a regular playthrough, and the actual thing I'm looking for is like 5 seconds, right? That'll be the like best, most informative 5 seconds because they didn't practice that. They just went, oh well, I need X, Y, and Z, so I'm gonna gear up and go get X, Y, and Z. It's like, oh well, there's a way to do it. Now, how did he mess up, or how did she mess up? How did they mess up, rather? And goes that, but, eh. But yes, those will obviously be edited, but it's like, I don't know. Especially when, like, another issue is I feel like if it's edited, then I can fit more stuff in there. Like, I've tried to record, like, dozens of, like, Minecraft starts. If you go to my TikTok page, there's, let's see. Check right here, let me open TikTok. I don't care for the sound. In Apprentice at Work, it's showing a few photos of a cabin I built. Not a cabin, but, like, it was supposed to be, a city hall, main hall, whatever type of thing for an island colony thing, right? But then, like, that itself could have been one video, but the build up to it probably would have been one video of itself. And then everything past it, I kept saying, oh, well, technically it's not done because there needs a sheep pen there, right? I need wool for the next endeavor. It's like, well, while I'm getting all this wool, what I can do is I can also start terraforming. I say, oh, well, I'm not finished terraforming this little section. Okay, well, it's like, well, I don't want to terraform right now, so I'll add roads. Aw, crap, I'm low on food, so let me make a farm. And by that time, there's like 8 episodes of like 2010 videos. More general playthroughs instead of first videos like, alright guys, I got enchanted netherite armor, I have a mega base built, etc, etc. The Ender Dragon's dead. Withers, basically a slave down in the dungeons for a duplicator. Come back for episode 2. Right, it's like, oh, well. Oh no. Right, I don't want to make videos like that. It's just, one, I enjoy videos like that to some extent, but it's like, not really. Because I get to see the building, I suppose. Kind of. I don't get to see the process of such. Because it's like, oh, why do they choose that block? Or, oh, why do they do this instead of that? But when they're actually sitting there playing it, they go, well, maybe I should redo this. They would do it. It's like, yeah, I should have. I'm happy I read that. Etc. Etc. Oh, I need 50. Okay. But there's my little rant. There's my little rant. Sorry about that. But those videos don't generally do well because one, even if I do edit them, I talk a lot. Wow, really? Like, you guys can tell. But in what I would deem to be important, I don't talk because I let the importance of what we're doing speak for itself, and I don't do anything. But when we're not doing something like this is fairly boring, so I try to talk information, keep guys on a subject that, it's like, whatever. But then I might say a solid piece of evidence, like don't run out of batteries, because say our battery production is low, it'll just turn these off. We won't get any production. Like, even if we buy batteries for that turn, these will still be off. So don't ever run out of batteries. And then I'll go on to some other BS, like, know what I had for food today, whatever. So it's like a weird cut in, weird cut out. I feel like, well, and it's so often, too. It wouldn't be basically just how I did it. It would be like 8 little bits of information that all tie up together somehow. It's like, well, yada yada, I suppose. I'm just gonna walk over that. Wow, that's crazy. Rude. Let's see here. Let's see how they're doing. They're about to be level 2. Let's take a look. Grasshoppers, groups of 20, 360 health. So basically faster ants with a little bit more health behind them. Armor, ammo sponges basically, but these again are the issue. Attack rate 9, 46 damage, 140 health, so low health. Less members per group. 20 more health than the other mosquitoes. Double the damage and even more attack rate. So that is fun, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to have to go for a recon vehicle. I would say light aircraft, which is probably what's going to be next, solely because I'd rather the recon vehicles set to heavy ammo to kill the cockroaches, and then the aircraft specifically for these guys. Because these are going to be so dense that if they're only focusing on these guys will be an issue. But if they're only focusing on these, they have such high health and armor that no, it just doesn't call for good times. Going to do view headquarters when it gets another. I guess we'll do a power station here. Though we could survive doing that. Could do one more. Oh, cake's 50. Metal factory? 20. Okay, we can do one metal factory. 5. We have 15. Okay. Next turn we'll be able to get that. Let's see. I'm actually use the market. Let's see how much plastic I can get here. $450. Okay. I think that should be enough to make a new army. I always try to get a new army. Oop, not recon. Every single turn. Because you just saw we lost 17 in one fight, just like that. Something that if we would have played smarter, like how we did originally, we wouldn't have lost a single unit. But because we wanted to go fast, yeah, defend, retreat, etc., etc. I feel like we do have one up there. He can't move. What's going on? I don't know why I brought him back. You go down there. You go in the bathroom. Take a shower with your buddy. Now they will be pushing up here. They'll be doing that. Now, we have options here. We have, ooh, it's going to be nighttime. So if we take a look up here, oop, nope. Here we go to day-night cycle. Minor player visibility. 50% less visual range of your shoulders. Damage increase, enemy damage increased 50%. Venom attacks increased 50%. So not only are they now doing 46 damage, or I guess we'll go off to not only doing 26 damage along with that, or whatever. They're doing 39 damage. That's scary. That is scary. But we have some options here. We can send troops off this way. I can ruin that. We can either keep a two-front, no matter what, this is going to be a two-front war. Either here and here, 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 or here. Or we can, once we get a big enough army, push troops up through here, get it as we do here, but then immediately push there. Like, ooh, I should have pushed that over there. That's fine. Basically, say we get a decent sized army of right here. We push up there, right? We kill anything and everything that's there. Oh, look, is there anything there? Right? To kill anything that they spawn in. And then let these ravage around, as they will. I mean, I say we build up to that. I say we why is it -5? Yep, see, these are now off, because these are supposed to do 20 metal, so they're supposed to be getting 60. It's weird, because there was only 15, there's 6 left. You're -15, yeah? Or -10, rather. But we still have... I am confused. We definitely have enough rough metal, rough materials. So confused, but alright. Now, it sucks for us in the middle front, but anyways. Recruitment, new army. Sapper. Vehicles, we do have enough for that, and this is our new army now. There we go. And what we're also going to do while we're here, we're going to buy about 100,000 small caliber rounds. Because we will go through them like Nathan Butcher. We're going to defend. We're going to fight. Now, mission destroy the enemy outpost. As I was saying earlier, because we have all sorts of the pie, we're going to defend, we're going to fight. Now, if we lose this and we attack, we are then still competing over the first slice of pie, right? Because we're defending our side or getting the, or attacking for the last piece of pie, it'll always be the outpost one for in that case. But like I was saying, like what is it? What was I gonna say? Like I've wanted to record a little bunch of different like weird arc things or 7 Days to Die, but it's like there's so much stuff that goes on, and I know a general audience isn't wanting a long drawn out playthrough because they can just play the game, right? They don't want to sit down and watch somebody else play the game step for step, you know, distance for distance. But I liked when videos are like that, right? I liked when, you know, somebody sat down, played, say, I don't know, 7 Days to Die or whatever, and entirely went through the motions. Went through, alright, well, I need metal, sat there, mined metal for about 20-30 seconds, to be like, alright, you guys know the process, I'm gonna skip ahead for you, etc., etc., right? Not, alright guys, well, I need to build a base, so let me go get metal. We got metal. I also need, say, a workbench. I'm gonna go get a workbench. Alright guys, I got a workbench. And just have it be like that the whole time. It's like, well, that's not interesting. I mean, for the main point of the video, it is. Right? Because the main point of the video is for whatever, like, the main, like, mega base building and 7 design or whatever, right? Sure. But, so obviously getting metal isn't going to be a main part of that. I'm gonna get all this, I'm gonna get a bunch of those up. Get a bunch of those up, and actually let me unpause there, control 1. Oop. Control 2. Nope. I selected the barbed wire. Oops, control 2. There we go. I'm gonna make sure these are on here so they can get resupplied with ammo and then healed. Can I get any more? Nope. Okay. I'm gonna speed that up. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do stats. No, I'm just gonna have them back here. And get these guys to stop joking each other. That quarter there. Yep, I'm just gonna watch them. Right here. You can tell I didn't place as many things as I needed for the ants through here because they're still getting through. But let me place as many as I can here, or if they get through. 75 groups left. They are lots and lots and lots of it. There we go. Down to 54 groups now. And because it's a straight line, because there's no other targets, it's just gonna hover around 300. Now, that number is raising because ants and whatnot, a lot slower. So they're trading out the faster units, which are dying immediately. So let's get this for ants. So, yeah. So. Ooh. They're faster than the ants, thankfully. But rather still not have anybody or anything die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to retake our other position by moving them all this way, moving them from here, and basically doing this. Maybe. Once the time calls for it. Apparently enemies are still too close to this bomb. So we're gonna move them back here. Take them all dragged through here. Still, really. I think it might just be ends left. Yeah. Okay. I'll use those two for that. Just have them sitting there. And get them back here, I suppose. Okay. Didn't realize like how little there were left. So we're just gonna do this. Now, did I need to micromanage that? Unfortunately, yes, because I entirely underestimated how many barbed wires we needed. Entirely so. But it works out. We only lost 2, and they're riflemen, so that's even better. We didn't lose our sapper, which would be an issue. I'm gonna do this because we need our sapper to destroy this. Until we get artillery, the sapper is the only way we can control this or destroy this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna send them up there with some dynamites. We're just gonna do poop. It does 8% damage every single time, so we're just gonna spam click this. There we go. Like that. But yeah, no. If you guys want more videos of this or 7 Days Die or whatever other game, sure, let me know in the comments below. But again, they will probably be uncut. Though, I don't know. Because of this, I could uncut the loading screens and keep everything else in. It'd be perfectly fine. It would probably be about 10 minutes shorter, for being honest with each other. But, I don't know. I feel like once I get a lot of talking out of the way in the first few videos, then maybe I'll be more okay with, like, being quiet and just skipping a bunch of things out. But, I don't know. I don't know. Something we figured out, something we tested, something we messed with. Well, actually, hold on, let's doing that. Yeah, I have a few games I could do that with. But it's also not... What's the word? Not quite sure explain. Not holding stuff over my own head, because if I say, oh, whatever, I'm gonna do a video a week, and then a week goes by, it's like, oh, well, I missed a week. You know, I feel embarrassed to go back and do it now, or whatever, who cares, right? 180,000 for him right there. It's crazy. Yeah, this we're just gonna defend. Exact same fight. Let's go. But with that, right? Because I can very easily find 3-4 hours out of the week thing instead of choose to play games because that's what I enjoy doing more than editing. It's also another reason of me just wanting to record and immediately upload the raw footage, call it a day. But also because, again, I guess I've already said it to repeat myself. If I spend all my time editing and then 2 people watch it, I feel like that's an insane waste of time. If 50, 60 people watch it, that's perfectly reasonable, but say I just clicked on the video, clicked out, no. So both views and in watch time, a good balance of such would be fine. Would be fine. But actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording. I have a very bad thing to use the restroom, so I'm going to pause the recording. I'll be back. Alright, I am back. Let's go on, take a look at what we're dealing with here. So it's attacking their base. So it means it's going to be a more streamlined thing. So let's do this. Let's do a bunch of these. Kind of where we generally want them. Going to do a bunch of those. A bunch of those. Do X, want to do stats. Need to control 1, control 2. And just like that, we're ready. Now I'd love a lot more shelters for here, but we already know how many ants we're going to get, you know? Let's make it 1 more down. Go. Back. What if they don't start coming here from the side more?
Attack formation.
That place. Watch these guys. 40. Okay. Uh-oh. Thing is that now I can't, like, move them out or anything. Yes, okay.
Order received. Order received. Get into position.
And the meshes are holding up fairly well. You get to see any ants. What if we do that? Does that help?
Target in range.
Not sure if that'll help or make things worse. Basically, it's saying everyone just fire at whoever you see. This one's saying everyone fire at the same target. So it seems for this is fine. Neutral either way. Seems like these should be fine. More of these that I'm worried about now. So they only have 7 groups left. If we just take a look at them, you'll see as soon as they touch it, they just die. Like, they are kind of being shot. Come back here. But, yeah, now it's just ants. Okay. So actually, how much health do these have? We do shelter. 120. Huh. Same health as these. Rate 1, rate 1. Cool. One more set of battle points. There we go.
Get into position. Roger that. Affirmative. Copy that. Order
Keep
acknowledged.
them all move over here. Yep.
Attack formation. Order acknowledged.
Move these back. We want to make sure they stay over here though.
Roger that. Attack formation. Roger that.
Now we're going to do stream fire.
Get into position.
I just think it might be worse.
Affirmative.
Only about 80 of them left. I'm just gonna do that. Maybe that was a
Target in
stupid idea.
range. Affirmative.
Oh, it doesn't matter now. Have fun.
Engaging enemy.
Alright, we're gonna get the sapper to move.
Going in. Copy that.
Going to increase the speed.
Move out. Copy that. Get into position.
So that wasn't that bad. Honestly, thought it was gonna be a lot worse.
Going in.
But hey, we up to army group. I think they should only have 2 now, but they should now have the fun units, which is quite unfortunate for us. Quite unfortunate. How far away is this guy? Is he moving?
Order acknowledged.
Where is he at?
Going in.
Am I stupid? Am I blind? Sapper?
Get into position. Move out.
Okay, you're just stuck. Okay.
Roger that.
Yeah, right now the army size doesn't quite matter. Doesn't do anything for being regular large. It was as easy as it is to kill them all. Now we did about get over one. We had some poopsie moments. But yeah, I'm fairly certain you can see how that's going to change. Sorry, I guess I'm still trying to figure out things to talk about because I'm still on like why I'm doing unedited versions. things like that. I might try to upload shorts, but it does, I don't know. I don't know. Trying to think of what other games I could really play that do that, but I don't want to play too many games and then get not interested in, because we can sit here for the next 2 hours and by the end of that be roughly basically done with this match, so to say. Man, I don't know, I don't think that's a good use of my time or your time for one video, because longer videos people don't tend to click on, because they kind of like me when I'm like planning things out. They see like, oh, an hour-long video, that means I have to watch it. Like my girlfriend does it. It's weird, because we're on YouTube trying to figure out whatever to watch to like fall asleep to. There'll be like an hour-long video. It's like, okay, sure, just put that one on, right? It's like, but it's so long. It's like we're gonna fall asleep during like a 20-minute video anyways. So it's like, but it's like, what? Like, I don't understand that part. Can I attack this again? No. They're actually down to 2 units right now. I think if we can move, we start getting what we can there. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, and there's still the weak ones. Okay, I feel like we can do it. I feel like we can put all of our eggs in one basket here. Huh. So I'm trying to think about whether we should get a light tank or air. Because we can easily switch 12.7mm bolts to heavy bolts for the recon vehicles because they have high rate of fire. Those should take down, I don't know. I unfortunately do not know. We can always test it out. There's nothing wrong with testing it out and losing, because the knowledge gained from it is fairly good. Is that a flamethrower? This ain't gonna. What's a shotgun? Oh, that guy's rude. Generally finding games where I don't have to. Well, I don't feel like because if I play 7 Days to Die, I feel like there should be at least some end to it. But I just can't ever do it. I don't know why. Okay, so we're gonna do here. Because they're really not going to be after us, what we're going to do is we're going to do that. One. Okay. I want to speed this up. Because what will happen is they're all trying to attack this. The ants will go up around here, get damaged. But all the flying enemies will get stuck right there in the middle. Right, do ready. Do stats. Apparently I was wrong. Apparently I was so ever wrong with what they're going to target. Oops. They're supposed to be over here doing all that, not being over here. Depends on where they're. No, because they're coming from this way. Huh. Quite unfortunate that I just basically fumbled that. Now what we can do is we can usually just do that. We lost, and we lose whatever enemies. Now, is that maybe one of the only few times to do that? Yes, because if I'm basically going to have them sit there and... I don't know. That's really... Huh. I guess I've maybe just had enough firepower, generally, just to ignore that. I think it might have been I just had enough firepower to ignore the backline defensive area. Well, you live, you learn. But no, for like 7 days to die, I tend to enjoy games where there's some automation to be set up, but it's not stupid, sort of say, because I like to grind. Like any MMORPG, I always like to. I'd rather farm than PvE or PvP or things like that. Generally, because in PvP, people sweat their fucking balls off and use metas and do all this and that. And they're so toxic. It's like, why the fuck would I want to like do that? Right? If I'm trying to be there and having a good time, just like being shit talked the whole time, which some shit talk's fine, but like every single time, it's like I'm just trying to have a fun time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna end our day. They're gonna branch off. That was only one, but going to attack. New stuff. Well, we gave it our best shot, I suppose.
Order acknowledged.
Gonna move these back.
Order received. Affirmative.
Unlocks vehicles like tank 140, 120. Okay. On 4, perfectly fine with that. We should actually still have, surprisingly, enough for Sepper. Supply truck, maybe not the recon. We'll see. We'll see. Now. Though yes, the recon vehicle is a lot more important than a single or even 2 riflemen. Is what it is. I like having my armies full. Defend this. Honestly, can we just do this with a single sapper? I wonder if we can. I wonder. But we won't. But back to like when I play Albion or RuneScape, whatever, I generally like to go for Ironman because I like being able to be self-reliant, whatnot. But it's harder because I don't know, it's just annoying. But for those type of games, I generally like to farm. I like to do all that, etc., etc. Because again, you have people who are just sitting there, no-lifing PvP with the metas down to a science. It's like, dude, I'm just trying to have fun. I'm not trying to like do all that. Go into like 30 hours of just kit loss to train when that's like a month's worth of time of all doing it. Not worth it to me. Not worth it to me. But at a point, I feel like if I've done a lot of it, I know how it goes. I'd rather have an automated process, even if it's at like a loss, but still still have it be worth it. Just like with the stone gatherers or whatever you can get for, not the mercenaries, but mercenary-esque things, people rather. They don't bring back anything for you to do due to the fact that mercenaries are just better for everything in terms of money. It's just not fair. 2. That's already set on 1. We're gonna do stats. We're gonna do X. Also, you can change the colors of this. You don't have to do whatever. Like, if you wanted just black, we do black. Generally, it is like armament green. I just realized some people might think that I was making it. No. I feel like that needed to be stated. So I guess we're running black now. Gotta wait for them all to get on over here. Here they come. What do we do this? They're gonna get closer, but I feel like they're going to die a lot faster. Okay. They're entirely skipping over to the... That's what we can do is we do vehicles. Tap out the repairs. Okay, now let's try shoot at whatever you want. Okay. And there's the issue with that. Alright, only about 400 left. Most of them are going to be air. So the end should just fall back from there. Perfectly perfect. I've also been wanting to get into Rise of Kingdoms as well, but I don't know. Reinforcements, infantry. We're just gonna do it this way. Go over here. I have to do the other side, which should be fine. Should be perfectly fine. What time are we at? What time are we at? Alright, so we'll finish off this turn, and then get set up for a fight for the next turn, and then I'll upload this. I think that's probably what I'll do. Supply and repair the troops, and leave them alone. An isolated unit is the last unit. That's fair. Think about how we're going to deal with the armored units. That's the main worry of mine, especially if they go into the dining room. Because that, if their new army goes into the dining room, we don't quite have a lot of troops there to help protect that. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably going to be able to poop out at least the next little bit an army group a turn. Maybe not. Yeah, at least the next little bit an army group a turn. Then, yeah, that would be the... We defend and lose. Defend the allied alpha, so I'm sure we find that. Damn. A lot. Alright. We'll do this, it's fine. Light tank would work against the armored, but I don't think there's any specific way to set the armored, but I guess... Because they're all going to target the same thing, right? The tanks are going to be shooting the weakest units, say the ants, right? But then an armored target comes along, Then you have all these 7.62 millimeter weapons shooting a giant armored target to where it's not going to do anything to it, and then the tanks finally have something to do. But while that's going on, the other things are, the flying things are killing them, or the weaker things like the grasshoppers. In that case, you just have overwhelming firepower to where it wouldn't matter. Right? Because it doesn't matter if the tank wastes their shots on small things where they just absolutely obliterate them. I don't know. It's something we would have to find out. And now I'm really wanting to play some Sunday Style or Minecraft with Creator or something similar to those. Okay, so we know we should remember how this goes. Where are they spawning at? Anywhere and everywhere. Okay. I guess what we're going to do. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do stats. But make sure all the troops over here are definitely protected in this regard. Now our base is going to take damage. But again, this is just mostly for getting rid of them. Yeah. See why we needed the things around them, but that's fine. That's quite alright. Actually, last time, I don't think any ants were attacking us. It was just the flying units. So what I could have done is I could have put all the barbed wire that we had. We could have put that for the ants. We could have. Quite unfortunate I didn't like connect the two beforehand. No, I want to play 7 Days to Die again, but thing is, with how they're doing it, with how Fun Pimps is going to bat it, they're very much pushing a certain way to play, and I don't like that. I really don't. Because like if I make a giant mountain base, right, with an entrance obviously for them to get to, I don't want them to friggin' dig through the mountain to get to me or whatever. I don't want them to ruin the terrain. I would rather them just come through, find the open entrance. You know, but that's, or there's a few other things, or oh no, because like I remember when I just be stand up in your little thing, you shoot, you do whatever instead of like relying so heavily on traps. But if they do add traps, they're gonna have to be reliant on it to some extent. Okay, we're going to attack. We're gonna fight. That still depends on how that goes. Actually, there's only, I said 11 groups. So only 220 ants left. How many points are we going to get? Because I can always add in troops after the fact, right? But that would risk the sapper. What I'm thinking is putting barbed wire at least one layer thick all the way around to kill the ants. But then, wouldn't be quite much we can do for mosquitoes as they go for the dead center of the building, which we can't place anything in the dead center of the building, unfortunately. I mean, we can ask for the sapper to build something in it, but he's just gonna get stuck. We'll find out. Horsemen's infantry. I'll do a sapper. Just pick that up. Next around there. Ready, we're gonna pause. Oh, that's right, we can't place it underneath it, fortunately, so. Let's speed it up a little bit. Do stats here real quick. Hopefully we can get more and more people down here. We can always find out though. One more, there we go. I get them all these under there. If they'd listen faster, or listen more, rather. We still have the sapper, we do. Move them over here. And there are some ants attacking them. Okay, now it's just flying. A handful of ants, but mostly. I'm gonna pause it because I can't get this guy. Okay, we're gonna do all this. We're gonna set everything to light. Oh, piercing? I guess we're going to do that. That's fine. Got rid of all the ants, and I was just flying things. We still have our sapper. So it's something we can deal with whatever way it goes next turn. Well, actually, let me see. I want to go shooting tomorrow. I guess later today. Let's see what time they open. 10 to 5. We also need to get ammo. Okay. Alright, well, okay. I mean, I've already basically put like 500 rounds. So it's 22, so it doesn't. I don't know, 500 rounds. Oh, boohoo. I don't know. I had my fun. I had my fun. close. 23 groups. Dang, I didn't realize it was that high. I think we're all good for defending and attacking. So we don't know who's over there because I accidentally set back that one guy. Oh, we can send you though. Here you go. Enjoy. Like I said, we're gonna end the day off and get ready for fights next turn. Nobody moved here. That's amazing. Well, nobody moved there. That's also amazing. We're going to do this. Because nobody moved. We'll keep that there. That'll be fine. Going through that, we're going to manage. Can't actually do anything. Create new army. Few pulls. Very heavy for this here. Feel like we should. Ooh, I thought there was other things in here. It's in you, isn't it? Yeah. Ooh, we're not gonna be able to do this. We're not gonna be able to do this. Or not. These two would give us a current issue with our lack of riflemen. Let alone 20 groups of 18 of 600 health. Not happening. Alright, well, now you know that. Probably should do though. Oh no, here's an issue with everything being black. Let's change the colors of it. Just make it pure white. How's that hurt our eyes? Looks like somebody spilled a paint. Whatever. Alright, manage headquarters, we're gonna do this. Head to the launch site. You can launch satellites. It's not worth it if we can just keep a unit there. Going seems more resources and whatnot, which I find weird because we're making more than enough for our resource now. I mean, we're making an extra 30. How much does one of these take? 30. We have enough for one more for the current flag count, right? And because we have a limited thing, if we make one more plastic, right? We definitely gonna need another power station, and then that leaves us 2 spots. And if we use one for a scavenging team, then just the other for plastic, we're making so much more of like everything else. And also that doesn't allow us to build incendiary barrels or toxic barrels for that. But also, I do suppose if we really need any plastics, right, we can just do this. Like we need any raw plastic in it at any single time. There you go, right? Just I don't know why I did what I did earlier and then proceeded to, I don't know. Yeah, with that, let's just see how it goes. We're going to save this for next time. These are annoying. We're definitely going to save them for next time. I've learned my lesson not to do it. Not to poke the bear's nest. This we're going to try to capture. We will try to keep the fighting close to here. At least have our main force here. Because say both of these go down that way, we can move the whole army this way. Now if they split either way, this is getting abandoned immediately. But the main goal will be able to keep stuff here. Or I guess they go down this way. As soon as we get some control over this, as soon as we get down to 2, we should be perfectly fine. As long as we can hold 2, because that means they shouldn't move back or around or anything like that. Basically what I'm comparing is, do we let whatever gets through get through and then deal with it like as we can, but keep everything here to, because right here they're going to be attacking the base. That's going to be the main thing. We have a handful of sappers here. We have some riflemen. We have some whatever. We basically toss down a sapper to do as much damage as he can. To the ants, to the grasshoppers, to the whatevers. Right? I don't know. But with that, we're going to save the game. I'm going to do my continue. I'm going to save. And that. I'll see you guys next one. Bye bye.